Hello everyone. Now, I wasn't too sure if I wanted to make another episode based off of Pixar property when I've already done two about Toy Story and one about WALL-E. Don't want this to become like a bad habit or anything, and you know me, I'm trying to be a more unique YouTuber. The episodes that I find to be the best are probably the ones about my life, things that you can't just look up yourself, stuff that you wouldn't have known had I not told you about it. Yeah, those make for the greatest episodes, if I had to guess. And you know, I did find something in Up that most of you guys probably never took the time to think about. Probably not even CinemaSins came up with this one. And because it is still the month of March, I need to get this out there before it becomes April and the timing is off. You see, if I had to pick a favorite Pixar movie, it would probably have to be Up. Of course, it might not always be that, and it's not with 100% certainty, but something about Up just clicks with me the most, because it's extremely relatable. And 6 years ago, on March 9th, if I recall, that would have to be the absolute worst day of my life. Not gonna go into too much detail, I probably did that in a much crappier Behemoth Vlogmaster episode back in the day, but there was just a flirty ambush and it didn't go down well. It lasted about 4 months, which means I've been dwelling on this crap for more years than months that it actually went on for. Because when you're on the spectrum, you take forever, and I mean forever, to let go of crap. Like I said, it's been 6 years and it's still bugging me. This is more something I would speak about with my therapist than my fans, but it would fit the tone of this video. But yeah, when you're autistic, you don't really let go of stuff that quickly. That doesn't mean we can't let go of stuff, but it just takes an absurd amount of time. When the day comes, if it comes, where I am finally able to look past all that garbage, I will be pretty happy. But until then, we're just taking it slow and steady. Up falls under that category pretty damn well. And you know, loss is never fun, no matter who you are. It doesn't matter how optimistic or religious or healthy of a human being you can be. The death of somebody close to you, it sucks. There wasn't a death that happened, but let's be honest, it wasn't that much different than a death. Like, to me, it was pretty damn bad. And it depends on the person. Like, some people will lose their absolute crap if they lose a member. Other people are just like, it sucks, but it is what it is. Like, there's a Let's Player called Nintendo Capri Sun, who not only lost his dad, but his mom died about a year and a half after that. And both times, he was chill as hell. Like, it's unbelievable how optimistic this guy was. Just take a look at this clip.
Well, he tells me I need to call back. It's an emergency. And when he said that, I knew exactly what it was. And it's really no easy way to say things like this, but my father, as of Monday morning, September 5th, has gone to a better place. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, so obviously it depends on the person and how close they really were to that other person. And even still, some people are pretty optimistic about the situation. Yes, they hurt deep down inside, but they do realize there are other things that they can be happy about in life. I got plenty of crap to be happy about in life. It's just the thing that happened 6 years ago is not one of them. Yeah, this world will throw you in for some loops, but you just gotta enjoy what you got. Now, I'm sure you guys already know this if you've already seen the movie Up, but I'm just going to go through a brief synopsis of the film. Up is about this elderly fellow who lost his wife due to some disease, and, you know, he's grieving on it. He didn't really have that much family, at least living ones, at the time that his wife died, and he couldn't have any children because of the miscarriage, and they just weren't able to have any kids. I mean, they could have adopted, but they chose not to. Which, if you ask me, is probably a good idea. But that's not the point. You do you and I do me. Not helping Carl Fredrickson's case is that the area that he lives around is a big-ass construction site. I'm sure that's not fun. I mean, you got construction workers there if there ever was an emergency, but he just cares too much about himself to even acknowledge that. Like, he can't even let go of a single memory. I mean, the whole house itself, he can't let go of. He can't let go of the mailbox when it got damaged. Hell, he couldn't even let go of a single picture on his wall of Ellie, his wife. He couldn't let go of anything. He was that attached. Now, you see, he's old. He's like 78. But even older than him would be Charles Muntz, who he was a fan of for a very long time. Like ever since he was a kid, watching Muntz on the big screen, back when everything was black and white and crap, we learned that Charles Muntz wanted to become famous, and so he faked the skeleton of the bird he had claimed to have captured and killed, and so he lost his badge, and now he's irritated. He stated in these exact words,
"I promise to capture the beast alive, and I will not come back until I do."
70 years later, he's still sticking with that. That's a pretty freaking long time to be holding a grudge. But it happens to some of us, cause when they say words can hurt more than actions, they meant it. Actions heal over time, like a bit of this, it'll hurt at first, but it goes away. But deep down inside, if you get your heart broken, not literally, but if you get your heart broken emotionally, that can stick with you maybe until death. And so far, that's been the case with me for 6 years. But deep down inside, I do believe, eventually, I will be able to look past it. But that day has not come yet. You see, both Charles Muntz and Carl Fredricksen lost something. But the only difference is Carl Fredricksen was eventually able to let go of it. He met some new friends along the way, and in return he got a big-ass Zeppelin in his favor. Charles Muntz couldn't give 1/100th of a crap. He was just so obsessed with trying to get that creature alive. Even though he tried to kill it at the end of the movie, but whatever, that's not the point. Now this is all crap you guys already know if you've seen the movie. But I'm willing to bet a lot of you never stop to think about this. You see, once Carl Fredricksen has a change of heart, and he actually starts to care about his new friends, Russell the kid, Kevin the bird, and Doug the dog, who can speak. Yeah, Charles Muntz made a contraption that allows the dog to speak English. What kind of genius are you, dude? If my dogs could speak English, it would be even worse. It's bad enough with all the barking they do. But I digress. So once Carl comes up with a plan to get them out of there safely, he calls to Russell and says, "Hang on to Kevin." He didn't say hang on to Doug, but he grabbed Doug anyway. So once he's got a hold of his friends, he grabs a chocolate bar, right? And that gets Kevin's attention. They jump through the window, and then Charles Muntz does the same thing, except this time his ankle gets caught in the balloon strings, and, he falls. Now, how is it that Kevin, Russell, and Doug made it out without that happening to them, but it happened to Charles Muntz? What happened there? The paranormal happened. If you ask me, Ellie was there, in spirit form, when they escaped the house. For a guy who takes paranormal crap very seriously in real life, I can definitely see this happening. And quite frankly, I am not the only one to have thought about this. Somebody else in the comments was like, Ellie was reincarnated into the house, and she was able to stop Charles Muntz from getting to them. But none of this reincarnation crap, we ain't going down that path. And even if it was that, why would you be reincarnated into a house? Why not another critter? Never mind, I don't believe in that crap to begin with, so who cares? It just makes sense to me that she was there at that moment in time. Because why would the balloon strings have latched onto his ankle? And these guys are pretty strong for elderly people. Like, Carl Fredricksen was able to move all the furniture out of his house, but he can't go up and down the stairs. And also, he could stop the whole freaking house from falling off the side of the Zeppelin. That's something I couldn't do. And this guy is like, what, 3.5 times my age? And Charles Muntz is even older, and he can bust down the door and be athletic like a freaking Ninja Turtle and jump through the window like it's just a basic obstacle. It doesn't make much sense. I mean, there are some pretty able-bodied older people out there, but I don't know. I mean, for guys that have a lot of spinal pain in their back, it wouldn't really work out like that. But what's most important here is the moral. Letting go of the past. Yeah, the past can be a blast. It's always good to go all retro and crap. But if we want to make any sort of progress with our evolution, I think the best thing to do is to move on. Now, for different people, that'll take different times, and for some people it never happens, but you just gotta hang in there, I guess you could say. Because I was finally able to let go of my non-editing nature, and I was also able to let go of my old computer. I don't use that thing anymore. And look where we are now. It was totally worth it. So yeah, I don't really know when that day will come when I let go of what happened 6 years ago, but it's not like I'm ungrateful for the other stuff I have. I got a lot of good, and I'm sure you guys do too. So before I leave, I will leave you with this. How many balloons does it take to actually lift up a house with an actual foundation? Probably more than what was in the actual movie, I'll tell you that. But I'm just wasting time, so I will see you guys later. Goodbye.